Other interesting political news, you have Ron DeSantis critiquing Nikki Haley, who wants to remove anonymous social media profiles. Which again, she said one or two good ideas, albeit I don't think they're too original. One that I kind of like is repeal the federal gas tax to make our lives a little bit more affordable. Lord knows it tax everything already as is, from your income tax to your sales tax to your liquor tax to your tobacco tax to your fuel tax to your tax, your electric tax, your internet tax. And just kind of hard to comprehend that the United States actually gave Great Britain the ultimate breakup letter, and by simply because they were taxing our tea and not giving us representation. And now everything is taxed. But nevertheless, Nikki Haley goes on Fox News and played this short clip of her. She actually says how she thinks it's a good idea to remove all privacy and just have, if you want to make a comment on social media, you have to have your real name and be verified.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand.
It's one of the most old cliche things you hear, I'd say a lot of people on the right, is it's just use magical words like national security and people acquiesce and give whatever you want, which unfortunately historically has happened, like the Patriot Act, which destroyed every semblance we have of privacy.
And by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their pastor and their family member is going to see it. It's going to help our kids and it's going to help our country. When I...
No, it would not at all. Also be a huge threat to freedom of speech, because there are some people who maybe their employer doesn't agree with their political ideals. Well, all of a sudden, they're not allowed to speak because they'll lose their job. I know a lot of people, especially who work in tech, where they'll have a different profile name on social media so they can freely comment about their ideals and debate ideals online. Because they know if they were to actually say, hey, I work at this big tech company, well, they would lose their job in a second. Now, DeSantis responded, and DeSantis says, quote, "You know who were anonymous writers back in the day? Alexander Hamilton, John Hay, and James Madison when they wrote the Federalist Papers. They were not national security threats, nor are the many conservative Americans across the country who exercise their constitutional right to voice their opinions without fear of being harassed or canceled by the school they go to or the company they work for. Haley's proposal to ban anonymous speech online, similar to what China did, is dangerous and unconstitutional. It will be dead upon arrival in my administration," unquote. Which again, of all the things DeSantis has said in the past perhaps 3 weeks, this is, I suspect, going to be one of the most positive responses in terms of feedback from him saying this. And for him, it went ridiculously viral. DeSantis, I think this comes from his personal Twitter, or as 12 people call it, X. He's got 3.2 million views. And he actually did a picture of himself saying text freedom to that number if you want to, get a part of that. So he responded to his own tweet, and he himself, that got 532 likes on that. To the original tweet, it got 22,000 views. Ooh, although the first one might be roasting him for plagiarism. Now the first comment comes from Trisha McLaughlin saying, quote, "Ron, eyes on your own tweets." And Vivek said, quote, "Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison all wrote the Federalist Papers under a pseudonym. Here's what they would say to Nikki Haley if they were alive. Get your heels off my neck and go back to England," unquote. They got 430 likes. Now, granted, DeSantis isn't going to call out Nikki Haley for heels. A lot of people are saying that's something they have in common. Chase Geisler says, quote, "Vivek already made this point," unquote, getting 210 likes. Coco says, quote, "I'm sick of these fake conservatives who want to mandatory identification on social media." And hashtag @RealDonaldTrump said, quote, and she responded with a quote from Trump, and the hashtag @RealDonaldTrump said, quote, "It should be mandatory that all haters and losers use their real name or identification when tweeting. They will no longer be so brave," unquote. She got 582 likes. Fed Up Kentuckian says, quote, "If we lived in the same world, this would finish off Nikki Haley as a presidential candidate," unquote. It got 582 likes. Candace Owens chimes in. She says, quote, "Strong," with the emoji of the American flag. It got 243 likes. Dustin McLaughlin says, quote, epic response from DeSantis on Haley trying to eliminate anonymity from social. Our founding fathers wrote the Federalist Papers in defense of our Constitution, did so anonymously. We need the government less in our business, not more. We need privacy to be protected, not less. Haley is sounding like a progressive liberal on this. And that's one of the top responses. It got 604 likes. Just when I thought he might get some positive responses. Let's see. That's not really funny. Someone did they didn't have to do much work, but they did a little work, so they had the president of China's face put on Nikki Haley's body. And Unfiltered Boss says, quote, Nikki Haley is trying hard to please the CCP. Got 731 likes. Proud Elephant says, quote, you have my vote. Hashtag DeSantis 2024 got 110 likes. Robert Salvador says, quote, rest in peace, Nikki Haley's campaign got 294 likes. So overall, let's see here. Jill Anthony also says, thank you for respecting our right to privacy and freedom to express our rights as free speech. Getting 99 likes. So overall responsive, but a lot of people pointing out that Vivek beat him to the punch. And a lot of people kind of saying, oh yeah, why are you copying him? So it's actually, yeah, a lot of the comments are saying, weird, this sounds an awful lot like Vivek's post. And there are many people in the comments saying, why are you copying Vivek? And you're responding with Vivek's original tweet. So I spoke too soon. This very well might actually hurt DeSantis because of the copying effect. Granted, I don't know how much lower his campaign can get in terms of approval ratings. I think he's bottomed out at 14%. I don't think it'll go below that. And I say approval ratings, I mean in these polls where they're going for the Republican nominee, right now he's about 14%, and Trump's usually 58%. And Nikki Haley is probably around 9%, Vivek around 5%, and Chris Christie is still around 2.9%. So let me know in the comments, do you think this will help DeSantis? It's kind of 50-50 split in the comments section, but be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November. And your feedback is also greatly appreciated. If you gave me notes in the comment section, that's how I know what things I need to work on to make the show better and better. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.